Today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has felt like maybe they have been struggling lately to keep this secret of how they feel, because it could actually be time to have that conversation with you and be honest. I do feel like for many of you, this is about somebody who has a secret crush and they feel like it's finally time to tell you what they think about you and what they dream about, right? But it's just like too heavy a burden, or it's too difficult for them to keep this information to themselves. So we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse because they're going to find an opportunity to finally tell you. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime. And I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Hey, Key Controller, how you doing? If you're interested in a personal reading, I'd love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is right below that a link to more information on how to become a member. There are 3 different tiers available. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Candace. How are you doing? We're gonna start off with the Love Oracle because I want to know more about these emotions that they want to confess. We might even get the confession card because I do feel like that's one of them in this deck. What else do we have? Okay, so this is somebody who has either witnessed you go through something that was a loss, or perhaps you've been grieving something. But I feel like for a majority of you, this would be the person who has the secret crush on you or has something they need to tell you. They've been going through a really difficult time and they needed to find a way to kind of balance that out or manage the situation. They did have this Ten of Wands energy, right? Which is somebody who feels like a lot is going on, but it's maybe finally starting to come to an end. But this is why they've had to keep this secret. Why they couldn't be more transparent about what's going on. Hello, Illusion. How are you doing? Let's see. We've got Perspective. This is someone who's been working on the things they need to, and I feel like they are experiencing a less chaotic life, or they are about to, because they have been walking away from things that have been preventing them or keeping them stuck. They did come through as the King of Swords, so this is nobody's fool. Somebody who is quite observant and I believe a strong communicator. Hello, Grindheart. Hello, Laura. How are you doing? Thank you, Illusion. Doing well. Distracted and clarity with running. Yeah. So this King of Swords has been dealing with a lot of family or work issues, perhaps even home-related issues or financial problems. But as things start to get a little bit more calm or not quite as stressful, they keep thinking about how they need to find a time to have a conversation with you and be honest about why they disappeared and why they are acting differently, perhaps. Because I do feel like you have some questions about what's going on with this person. They may be acting a little bit erratically. Hello, Lemonade. How you doing? Aw, thank you, Oracle. Hey, Mary. How are you doing? Hello, Kraka. Hello, Kinza. Tower in the reverse. 5 of Cups in the reverse. So if this person had been honest with you about how they felt or the crush that they have on you earlier on, maybe 2 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, They feel like things would have kind of crashed and burned, or they wouldn't have been able to progress because of all of the other things that were going on. If I am interviewing all over the country, or if I am trying to help my parents move, or I've got to do something for my children, then maybe it just doesn't seem like the right time to confess the emotions. They might have procrastinated a little bit, but they did have a lot that they needed to figure out, right? Hello, Himanshu. Hello, Sadeep. Hello, Queen of Cups. How are you doing? Hello, Trader. Hello, Armando. Buenos dias. For those of you asking personal questions, this is a general reading or collective reading. If we reach $15 in tips, I will take personal questions at the end with priority to those who have donated. Hello, Vic. How are you doing? Hello, Gerville. We've got 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, 3 of Swords, Justice and Judgment. Okay. So for many of you, this person has gone through the loss of a close, confidant or family member. They needed time to deal with maybe even a last will and testament, or to grieve the situation, maybe change their living situation. But like I said, lots of things that they had to deal with, and they knew that those would be a problem, or that they would cause distractions if they tried to come forward and confess their feelings earlier on. But this Justice card is saying that things are being balanced out, right? It wasn't easy, or it was a little bit of a struggle there. It was a little touch and go, but now I feel like I'm able to come back around, or there's more availability, more opportunity to connect to somebody, right? Bonjour. I probably said that wrong. Bonjour? It's more like a O, not an Hello, Neha. How are you doing? Hello, CR. Hello, Barsha. Page of Swords, communication. So yes, things might have been a little bit strange or awkward, or maybe they weren't really responding like they used to. And you may be questioning if this person doesn't like you. You may be wondering, if they're okay. And I do feel like they're going to give you an update. They're going to let you know what's been going on. And I think also tell you things are getting a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more tolerable. And then I think they're going to find a way to segue into a conversation about feelings. Thank you, Sadi. Hey, astronaut. There might be other folks out there who want to read on trivial matters, but that's not really my bag. If you have a personal question and we get to the $15 in tips on this reading, I'm happy to do that for you. But not, gambling-worthy info. That's not what the gift is for. Hello, Tumi. How are you doing? Hello, Johnny. So we've got the Empress in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Instability and maybe even chaos that is caused, or a very unpredictable schedule, potentially some really deep, difficult emotions, trying to offer support to other people in the family is what I'm seeing. Their hands were full, right? I couldn't offer that relationship type energy if I wanted to, because I didn't have the time. I didn't have the emotional resources, right? I got to get through this other stuff. Hello, AIO. How are you doing? Hey, astronaut. You're implying something that I don't really care for, so I'm going to put you on a 10-minute little baby timeout. If you want to come back and play nice and be respectful, you're more than welcome to come back. But yeah, I would say spiritual gifts in general are not here to help anybody get rich. If you get rich, you know, that's because that's your path, right? Hello, Limon. How are you doing? Hello, Ultra. Thank you. Hello, Lydia. Hello, Roland. Hello, X-Main. What's up? Three of Wands in the reverse and the Nine of Wands. Fire energy. Defensive energy. Passionate. I've got to defend my territory, or I've got to defend my stance. I've got to make sure I don't crumble under the pressure. I do feel like this person was crying or had been looking for solace because this was not something that they thought they were going to have to deal with at this point. So it could indicate that we have somebody who dealt with an unexpected death in the family. My condolences if that's true. That's funny. Oh, thank you so much. Do I say Cimerex or Cimerex? However you say your name, you're delightful. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Hello, Jaden. What else do we have? 10 of Cups. 2 of Cups in the reverse. 4 Wands in the reverse. Ooh, Lord. Okay. So we could have somebody that was helping a sibling go through a divorce. We could have somebody who was going through a divorce themselves. We could have somebody who, again, like I said, there could have been a loss in the family. But this is not an easy time that they've been going through. And they didn't want to be a burden on you, or they didn't want to have that be like the start or the like ambiance for your romance. They wanted it to be more of like a, I have time to dedicate to this and I can, you know, make you feel special. This is the truth is. All right, sounds good. Thank you. Unfulfilled emotional or physical needs. Well, I should say that separately. Unfulfilled is at the top, and then it's clarified by saying emotional or physical needs unmet. I need more love. And then we have divine timing. Everything will work out when the universe sees fit. Yeah, I mean, they were going through a rough time. They could have been selfish and said, hey, I'm going to, you know, pursue this because I want you to make me feel better. But they wanted to be able to have that reciprocal energy, right? You're giving and I want to be giving towards you as well. But they had to wait for the right time. I think this person is quite intelligent or thoughtful. Ooh. Hey, Grindheart, how you doing? Thank you for the tip. Let's double check that response time, shall we? In 5 days. Any talk about today? And is she willing to move on to the future? Oh, the softer side. Yeah, that's what you want to see. I get that. Okay, so if we get to 15, which is a little over $3 away, then I will do the personal questions. Thank you to Grindhard for getting us closer to that goal. Hello, Third Eye. What's going on? Ooh, what was going on there? Are you having a rough day? Hello, TJ. You ain't wrong. Hey, Dominique. I'm pretty confident he loves you too. What else do we have? So Dominique, I don't mind you talking about your faith, and I'm excited for you that you have that faith, but I hope we can respect where that boundary lies, where we start to judge other people. So if we can avoid things like eternal damnation, for example, then by all means. But I do have a tendency to time out or block folks that want to judge people for their beliefs. Hello, Donald. How's it going? My name's Carmen, actually, Dominique. Hey, Rahul, I'm sorry. I only have Dr. Pepper. But, like, in my opinion, it's better. Thank you. It was Simmer X, right? Oh, you're funny. I appreciate you. All right. Dana, thank you. I'm gonna write down your question. Dana has been very patient with me, everybody, because I have repeatedly forgotten her question. But thank you for dealing with me. Marriage in my future. All right. I've got that written down for you. Let's see what else we've got. I pulled the avoiding card, which talks about refusing to accept the reality of the connection and feeling stuck in a connection. So this does feel to me like this could be someone who was wrapping up a divorce or trying to figure out how to get to a place where they could actually be available for a relationship, whether that's obligations pertaining to work or another romantic interest. I don't really feel like this is somebody who's like a player. It feels to me like the obligations that were preventing them from connecting with you were legitimate. Thank you, Vane. I'm gonna write down your question real quick. Why does Nicholas keep watching me all the time? And his intentions. All right. Thank you, Vane. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think people probably judge the lack of coffee in my life, but I don't know what it is about Dr. Pepper. I think it's like the spicy cherry cola thing, you know? Hello, is it pronounced Zeta? Sorry, I've been writing questions down. We're going to do personal questions at the end. And this is a general collective reading at the moment about somebody who has a crush they need to confess. Ooh. I added that question for you, Grind Hard. Thank you for the tip. Xena the Princess Warrior was one of my favorite shows when I was growing up. Hey, Brat Smimson. If you'd like to discuss gambling, this is probably not your channel. You're welcome to chat with the awesome folks in the live chat, but that's not something I'm going to answer. For those of you who enjoy partaking in the personal questions at the end of my readings, there are some limitations that I place for just like my own sanity, but also just being realistic about what questions should be answered. So I say like give priority to questions about relationships and clarity on intentions, love, obviously career, that kind of thing. A little bit of health, although sometimes that can be a little bit touch and go. I guess that's kind of a pun. So just keep that in mind, right? We've got the 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Rings in the reverse. And this is that major loss that they've been going through. It was not easy for them to go through this situation because there were intentions revealed of people that they thought they could trust to indicate that in fact they could not trust these people at all. So for many of you, this could actually be an inheritance that is being mismanaged by a selfish family member. So they may be having to go to court, for example, to fight for what was actually, what's the word? Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. Bequeathed. I think it's bequeathed. Whatever was bequeathed to them in the last will and estimate, or last will, no. You guys, why is this so difficult for me? Last will and testament. There we go. I found the little file drawer for it. But we've got the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So it's like, oh, okay, I thought we were cool. I thought we were chill. I thought we had some respect here. And it turns out you're trying to not like notify me about land or jewelry or cash or whatever that I'm supposed to inherit. That is wild. So we do have somebody that has had a more complicated situation arise out of this loss. It could also be fraud of some type, right? Hello, Salvador. Hello, Annette. Hello, Rama Bedlam. How's it going? Yep, there we are. What else do we have? We've got the 9 of Swords in the reverse, 4 of Cups in the reverse, and the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so things got pretty heavy, like I said. And they didn't want to walk away. They didn't want to maybe even believe that someone was capable of taking a bad situation and making it worse. But I do feel like at some point we have some acceptance, because the 4 of Cups, if it were in the upright, that's like rejection. I don't want to think about it, right? They had to come to terms with what was really going on and what intentions they were faced with from the other folks in this situation. They have recovered from this, or they have started to pick up the pieces, right? Get everything where they need it to be. Hello, upcoming. How you doing? You guys are funny. All right, so we've got the Fool and the Star. Now that I've been working on, getting things figured out, and I feel like I'm getting to a place where it's less chaotic, I can maybe get back to daydreaming or working towards the thing that matters to me, the things that make me happy. Because, I cleaned up the mess. Now I get to put my feet up and watch my favorite show, okay? Now that I've dealt with this difficult situation, I feel like I can actually connect to this person who I've been missing. Judgment, again. 7 of Wands, another reference to divine timing. It's time for me to make this decision. I feel like I've got things under control. I don't feel like I'm super stressed, so I think I'm going to ask this person out, or I'm going to find an opportunity to connect with this person. Oh, I'm so glad you found the community too. There's some really awesome folks in the collective. Thanks. We've got an opportunity. I've had to hide how I felt, or just kind of be patient. But now that I have gotten all of the chores done, now that I've gotten through this to-do list, maybe I can actually focus on the happy things that I want in my life. That Ace of Wands is an indicator of romance. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it's a rose in this particular deck, and so it always has a little bit more of a romantic undertone. And with Death in the reverse, this is someone who's saying, yeah, things got a little bit crazy there, but I'm still here. I'm still living, and I want to find an emotional connection. I want to love and be loved. This is the Energy Oracle. What else do we have? Good. Hello, Faisal. Yeah, thank you for liking the video. I definitely appreciate that. And once we get to 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away 2 free personal readings, not just like the questions like I do here, but a longer form personal reading. So be sure you subscribe as well. I'll be leveraging TV trivia to figure out who wins. So, wow, hostilities. This is what we're talking about with that family situation. Someone here was a shock to the system for the person who has a crush on you. Like, I expected them to be caring or expected to be able to trust this person. And instead, it was like I had to go to war with my sibling or with my aunt or uncle, right? To get this sorted because someone wanted to keep it all. Somebody wanted to get all of the benefit from that situation, which for many of you, I feel is an inheritance. For others of you, this could be, you know, being really self-absorbed on a family reunion type vacation, that kind of thing. But someone had felt like they had to keep their heart locked away because too much was going on. Now they're giddy. Now they're like, ooh, okay. If there's a balance, if things are getting better, then maybe I'll actually be able to connect with this individual in a romantic way and get back to having a good time instead of being so stressed out all the time. Hey, Vane. Yep, I've got you on my list. I'm going to finish up the general reading probably in the next 5 minutes, and then I'll start with Grindhard's questions. You would be 1, 2, 3rd on the list, but Grindhard did pay for a couple extra questions. This is the Gypsy Oracle. This feels to me like it's a new energy because they have been hiding this energy from you. I don't expect, or I don't see that you expect this person to come back. So there's not like a no contact, we used to date kind of thing. This feels more so like somebody who has been kind of admiring you, maybe from, you know, a friendship kind of standpoint or even at a workplace. But they're feeling like now that things are settling down, they can finally confess. So it has more of a new vibe to it. They haven't been able to have this conversation with you because of the stressful thing. I don't like to flash that card too often. The despair card in this deck is a little bit concerning. But we had somebody who, like I said, they were overwhelmed. Hello, MMA. How are you doing? Hey, Derek. How are you doing? We've got room in the reverse. There could have been living quarter issues. Maybe I had somebody crashing on my couch. Maybe I had to go live with somebody else. Maybe I had to go sell my Aunt Susie's house. There were obstacles, significant obstacles. And then we have misfortune in the reverse, but they have been able to address this. They have been able to find a resolution. It may not be a perfect resolution, but I do feel like now it's like I can put down the sword, right? I don't have to battle anymore. I don't have to worry about this thief anymore. So if there was someone trying to take their inheritance, they've been able to provide what they need to the court to get a change or to get what they're supposed to from the situation. Let's go with the Love Oracle, actually. This is the Romance Angels Oracle. Hey, CP3. I know you probably want me to just like be mean to you, but I'm going to be judgmental in the live chat. You can keep it moving. If you'd like to be a little bit more understanding and maybe even meet some cool people, there are awesome, awesome people in the live chat right now. Hello, Iris. How are you doing? Hello, how's it going? Manjushri? Did I say that right? Please refrain from repeating the same message over and over again, also known as spamming. We got more important things to talk about. But I do appreciate your very positive comment. Oh, dang. This person's serious about you. They see, this is the thing though. They've had a lot of time to think about what they want. They've had a lot of time to consider their emotions. They are a little bit worried that you might be in love with someone else or that you might be uninterested in romance at this time. Hey, Carrie, how are you doing? Thank you, Bedlam. You're sweet. Thank you, Manjushri. I appreciate that. That's funny. We've got romantic feelings. Yeah, they feel like it's the right time. They're a little bit nervous because maybe you're interested in somebody else. They're worried that maybe you're going to think they've got red flags. But I do feel like this is a genuine person. They may actually have something here that means it's not a good match for you, but for the majority of you, I'm picking up on true love. Somebody who's learned a lot of difficult lessons, had to stand on business, defend themselves, and they want to be in a loving companionship, right? Hey, thanks, Lemonade. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna move on to the personal questions with Grindhard at the top here with a few questions for him, and then we've got Dana and Vane. So for Grindhard, we've got, will she respond in the 5 days that we're stating? High Priestess, 8 of Swords. So this is looking positive because both of them are in the upright, but this 8 of Swords is a little bit concerning, Grindhard, because I do feel like there is some impact here that you could have on this situation based on your outlook. And you might say, well, what do my thought patterns really have to do with whether or not somebody decides to call or text me, right? Well, if you are thinking negatively about this outcome, or if you are expecting a disappointment, it will come through in how you communicate to your lady friend. So I'm not saying that I want you to come through as, arrogant, right? Of course you're gonna message me. I'm like the hottest thing ever. How could you not want me? I'm not saying that. But I want you to find that happy medium where it's like, hey, I respect you got stuff going on, and I know, it might not work out. But if you have that nice medium amount of confidence, then I feel like it gives her that opportunity to have some sense of control over your communications, but also want to communicate with you in that 5 days, which is kind of a half yes, half no. If you can avoid coming through as demanding, then yes, she will. And I think you can. So is there any talk, or has there been any talk today from her about you? No. 3 of Wands in the reverse, at least not yet. We've got Queen of Wands and 5 of Pentacles. I feel like she's having kind of like a me day, maybe ignoring the phone or binging a show, catching up on something that's important, maybe even getting like a pedicure, whatever, right? Like I need a little bit of me time. Yeah. Time to focus on other things. But with the 6 of Wands, I do feel like there's going to be some sort of chatter here. So if she talks about him today, will it be positive? Yes. With the Hanged Man. But there is still a sense of the decision needing to be made. Is she willing to move on to a future with him? She is willing. 3 of Cups in the upright is, to me, saying it really depends on how the chemistry or how the balance is in your energies or your personalities in person. How does a date go? How do, conversations flow? Or is there something that feels kind of like organic here, right? And I do feel like your focus on clear communication is seen as really attractive. Will she show the softer side? Yes. And I do feel like there's something here about being resistant to showing her softer side to you because of a recent betrayal with the Ten of Swords. There's somebody in her past. I don't feel like this is somebody that she is still in love with or still wanting to see things, you know, get back together or have a reconciliation. But this has made it a little bit difficult for her to trust or to fall in love, right? Is Grandheart the only person that she is talking to currently? Yes. I do feel like your lady friend is a very private or difficult to access kind of person. I don't feel like there's a lot of, I need external validation from other people, so I'm gonna have all of these different connections just to make me feel attractive. I'm not picking up on that at all. I feel like this is someone who protects their energy. So, as always, we're sending you positive energy, Grindheart, and hoping that that goes well for you with your lady friends. All right, let's see. This is the Earth Bones Tarot. Hello, Nilly. How are you doing? Hello, Drew. Hello, Ashok. Hello, Angel. Yes, please take Aidster's advice, whom I lovingly refer to as Lemonade. Yay. All right, so this is for Dana. Dana's question, who, thank you again for being so patient with me, Dana, is there marriage in my future? Oh my gosh. You're gonna get emotional. Look at how cute that is. You guys, this is the Lovers, which is quite a beautiful response from Spirit on whether or not you're going to get married. Yes, you are. Of course you are. And there's going to be something here that is very like rejuvenating about this. It's another chance that maybe you didn't expect to get, that it's like I'm getting, you feel young again, or it makes you feel alive in a way that you haven't really experienced recently. And we've got the Teacher. I can't. The Teacher in this deck is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is about relationships or a higher level of commitment. So Spirit is like, yeah, definitely. It's just about making sure that you build those blocks, that strong foundation in the relationship, right? Oh my, people getting blocked, what's up? Oh, I don't know if that means you're dumb. I'm probably saying it wrong. It's like my favorite thing to do. Oh, you're so welcome, Dana. I'm wishing you all the luck. That's such a sweet response. All right, so for Vane, thank you again for the tip, Vane. We've got Nicholas. Oh, why is Nicholas watching me all the time? Yeah, that would be a little spooky. Page of Wicks, Page of Wands. Ace of Swords or Ace of Crystals in the reverse, and the Nine of Crystals. Nicholas is waiting for you to have some sort of problem, to overreact or be frustrated or be angry, lash out over something that is not true. So I don't know if you've got some gossip situation going on, or if this person is sending negative energy your way. But they feel like there's going to be a crack exposed in your exterior. They feel like Something being said that you find out about is going to make it difficult for you to sleep at night. They're expecting to see you emotional in a negative way. What are their intentions? Three of Petals or Three of Pentacles in the reverse. To get you back. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. To get you back, it's like retaliation for something. Three of Pentacles in the reverse or Three of Petals in the reverse in this deck. This is like, I want people to not like you. I want people to judge you, or I want you to feel alone. This is not good energy at all. Nicholas needs a hobby. But it is seen by Nicholas as like fair game. That's what you get. So I'm sending you protective energy, Vane, and I hope things improve for you. Remember not to feed the troll, right? Thank you for all the bless yous. You all are too sweet. I hope Vane was still around for that. Thank you. Hello, Armando. You guys are sweet. Let's see. Did I miss a comment from Jaden? I don't remember missing that. Yeah, okay. Sorry, it's really hard sometimes to navigate the comments because I can only see like 5 or 6 at a time. And I'm trying to find a question to answer for you all. Hello to Kelly. How are you doing? Nelly would like to know what the feelings are for Sovic. Or Geet feelings. Is that a person? All right, let's see what we've got for you, Nelly. Emotions are headed towards me. This seems like someone who has their boundaries up to you. Judgment in the reverse, the World, and the Queen of Crystals, which would be the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is somebody who will block you. The Queen of Swords is someone who will tell you that's a line and you've crossed it. So I do feel like there's a question here of whether or not things could be made right because there was an error in judgment or something was said that shouldn't have been said. So this is someone who's a bit cold to you right now, not really interested in connecting. That could change over time, but right now it seems like there is resistance towards communicating with you. I was just saying jabroni the other day. That's too funny. Hey, Matt. It's not a seance, but yeah, I can understand the confusion. If you want to know more about my channel, there's always, you know, the about section that I provide that tells you what's going on. Or the description box probably adds some clarity as well. Hello, Tony. How are you doing? Is my girl faithful? I sure hope so, but let's take a look for you, okay? Probably a good time for me to say this is all for entertainment purposes only, so please don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to help you out, okay? Is Tony's girl faithful? That was a very interesting way the card fell out. I feel like as of right now, she is faithful, but there is someone who is like knocking on that door. There is someone who's very interested, but I think there's a desire to be good, to do right by, it was Tony, right? By my person. But there's somebody else here who's like, hey, I see you. You look really good. You want to make out? So maybe you can kind of feel that there's someone trying to get your person's attention. Yeah, this is an offer, but I don't know that they're going to be successful. So, I mean, the answer would be yes, she's faithful, but there's definitely someone trying something. So if you're trying to figure out whether or not to have a conversation about it, I might just casually recommend having a conversation that is a little bit less accusatory and a little bit more, I want to have a good understanding of what you consider to be respectful and disrespectful as it pertains to fidelity, right? What do you consider cheating? What do you consider to be the rules? Because I want to make sure I'm being respectful and that we're on the same page. If you have that kind of a conversation, it's not putting her on the defensive, but it's also helping you to get that out in the open, right? Hey, Raylan. If you don't like hearing me talk, you're welcome to keep it moving, sweetheart. But no, that's not why I do this. Sure. So Matt has asked, can you read my energy? No specific question. Eight of crystals, which is the Eight of Swords in the reverse. The Seven of Jars, or Seven of Cups in the reverse. And the Four of Crystals, or the Four of Swords. I have a grin on my face, or like a wry smile, because you have figured something out. And it could be that you figured out a bunch of little things and it helps you see the bigger picture. But this is enlightenment and freeing yourself from a perspective that may have limited you in terms of how far you can go in life, or even like who you associate with. You have clarity coming out your ears right now, okay? There's intuition that you're paying attention to. Like nothing's getting past you, is what I'm saying. So this is because you have been able to focus on your healing. You know when to tune out other people's emotions or other people's opinions. Like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I think I got this one. And it's not arrogance. This is like you actually do know what you're talking about. But you balance that with, when I need to know some more, I want to make sure that I'm looking for credible information to fold in with what I think is true. You are operating on all cylinders. This is impressive. So give yourself a high five. All right. Yeah, sounds like a legend. Seconded. Well done, Matt. You might need to teach a few people. Hey, Pharaoh, how are you doing? And thank you, everyone, for liking and subscribing. I sure appreciate that. Samantha has asked, will my ex return to me? I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you. For Samantha, will my ex return to me? Yes, although I do feel like it's going to continue to be a bit of a difficult decision. There's something here that you keep arguing about. There's something here that you will continue to argue about. There is either somebody here who is more comfortable feeling anger than love, and that's how they feel comfortable expressing their emotions, or there's a repeating pattern. Could be both, right? If you keep doing the same thing over again, I'm going to be mad at you every time you do it. Hello? So yes, I do feel like they're coming back, but if you want it to last, one or both of you have to make a major change in behavior, or you're just going to have the same cycle over again, and you deserve better than that. Hello, KH. How are you doing? Good. With the honey question. Yeah, it's just a fun way to say, I think I also said caliente, right? So let's see if she is attracted to you, feeling excited, right? I'm sending you a hug, Samantha. Don't accept less than you deserve, okay, honey? So is Grindheart's lady friend. How are we gonna phrase this? She desiring some alone time with Grindheart. Yes. Okay, you know what I'm seeing in my mind though? She's attracted. She's interested. But it's like, can I have some time for an everything shower? Can I have some time to get to like the esthetician, please? Can I have some time to like look as good as I possibly can? Like a little bit of time to buff the nails. You know what I mean? A little bit of primping. Yes, I think that's the word. Oh, thank you, Andy. How are you doing? It's a mystery gift? Ooh, that makes it even better, isn't it? Yes, I would agree with that. Hello, High Priestess. Hello, Nicholas. How are you doing? For Rangers, we've got, will Isaac ever be able to release the cords that tie him to Jessica so that we can move forward? Will he be able to release that cord? I don't think so. To be honest, was it Rangers? I think, yeah. Rangers, what I see here is potentially even a little bit of a love spell or manipulative energy. It doesn't have to be somebody, you know, using candle magic or saying spells they got off the internet. It could literally just be that this, was it Jessica, person from the past, knows how to pull the strings, knows how to manipulate your person. And I gotta say, I think they kind of fall for it hook, line, and sinker every time. And I don't know that this is because you've got someone who's got really bad intentions. I just feel like they know, well, Jessica or whoever it was from the past knows exactly how to play them. So I would focus on yourself. It's probably not what you want to hear, but focusing on yourself and showing yourself the love that you deserve shows other people the standards that they need to reach if they want to be with you, but also is not limiting you in terms of the opportunities that come your way when this person is effectively keeping like a half wall between you and them. Like, I'll give you a little bit of energy, but if that other person from my past were to call me up, I'd be gone. You don't deserve that. Why would you deserve that? You are not a second choice, right? So I'm sending you a hug. You deserve better. Hello, Ankita. How are you doing? Yes, please be mindful of Aidster or lemonade, as I call them. Ankita is asking, is there any chance of reunion between me and Devanshu? Got Temperance in the reverse. Something is off. And the Three of Wicks or the Three of Wands. To be honest, this feels like you have shifted away from each other. Choices have been made. The die is cast, which is so like foreboding and final seeming. But even if you were to exert all of your energy to work towards this reconciliation, it would feel like the universe is working against it. So there might be somebody here that you're blissfully unaware of that is your soulmate. So don't invest too many things in this connection from your past. You may miss out on somebody who is your perfect match because you think you know better than the universe. Not to say you're dumb. That's not at all what I'm saying. But sometimes we don't know how good something can be if we have no idea it exists, right? So be open-minded to it. All right, let's see. This is the Tarot de la Nuit. Oh, of course you will, Drew. What do you mean? Let's see what the cards have to say for you, Drew. The question is, will I be smart enough to understand people? Slagging me off is not a term I really understand. It's got to be British, right? Or that part of the across the pond. What's the answer to Mr. Drew's question? There is an unexpected, this is so weird. Okay, so I'm seeing the word fairy, but not like the kind with wings. I know, they're adorable. That's the kind I would like too. And like, honestly, there's like a total fairy vibe in this tarot deck. But what I see is fairy, F-E-R-R-Y. There is something taking you from one chapter to a new chapter, and I don't feel like you expect it at all. So there could be a new job, there could be a new living situation, but the issue here is this is possible and it helps you to feel more confident, more observant, people respect you more, but you have to believe in it. So, it's not Santa Claus, but it is, you know, not always easy for people to believe that, right? F-E-R-R-Y. Come on now. Yep. I actually have a really good story about how regional dialect and slang can get you in trouble, but I don't know if I want to say that right now. It's a special story. It's a little offensive. But you got this, Drew. Also, I'm thankful for the times when somebody is out there like trying to make me feel bad about myself and I'm blissfully unaware because I'm doing what I love. Roll on by. I don't care. I didn't miss anything, you know? If you miss it, somebody's trying to insult you, like, call it a blessing. Cool. Didn't have to deal with that loser, you know? Don't give away your power to people who shouldn't have it. You know who you are, you respect yourself, and other people, you gotta make sure you're not, like, sucking at the whole, like, self-monitoring and self-awareness thing. You gotta have some awareness of what people think of you, but that shouldn't define who you are. Hello, Christopher. How are you doing? Aw, that's sweet of you. No, you're not. Drew, I'm going to challenge you to only speak highly of yourself. That doesn't mean you don't do anything wrong, but don't insult yourself unnecessarily. I say this as somebody who calls myself a loser all the time because I think it's funny. You gotta, I'm working on it though, right? Like, I don't know. I think sometimes when you insult yourself, you like beat other people to it and then you get the jokes or like the laughs before they can. But you got to be very conscientious of what you're saying about yourself and the power behind your words, right? Are you okay, Kelly? That's a little concerning. Yes, I would advise you to connect with somebody that you know you can trust and see what's going on. Hello, forever. No, I am not. I tried out for a play in the 7th grade and I didn't make it, so I swore off acting. I guess I really took it to heart. All right. I don't have any other questions written down, but I will take one more question. Five Grave says, what are his feelings towards me right now? What are his feelings towards Five Grave right now? Wow. The Moon and the Chariot. Ace of Wands. So this feels to me like somebody who is a bit elusive, secretive. They like being mysterious. They like making it difficult for you to be able to predict them. So there are days where they're going to show you more attention than you expect. And there are days that they pull back just to see if you're going to like ask for it or miss it, right? This is somebody who I think is more comfortable with the physical side of intimacy rather than the emotional side of intimacy. And I do feel like this is somebody who ghosts people. So I would say this is an unreliable emotional connection that could be primarily about superficial companionship or even physical intimacy. So I would discourage future plans with this person or daydreaming about them because it doesn't seem to be permanent energy or, you know, thinking about relationship. It's more in the moment. I do feel like this is someone who is playing games and they like to take away their energy to see what your reaction is or to kind of keep things on pause. But I do see someone who has emotional maturity in your near future, maybe a month out, 4 weeks out, because the lunar cycle is 28 days. So don't let this person distract you. There's somebody much more like on your level or on the same page. Might work out just fine for you that this person's non-committal because there's somebody better out there for you that is about to take notice. All right, I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and of course the tips. I appreciate all of you that are helping me to reach 20,000 subscribers and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.